Kano State government has on Saturday called on public and private institutions to strictly adhere and comply with the Court of Appeal judgment which ruled in favor of the 16th Emir of Kano, Muhammadu Sanusi II. The State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Barrister Haruna Dederi, made the call while addressing newsmen on the position of the government on the judgment. Dederi, who said it has been vindicated, noted that the judgment validates the government's lawful actions regarding the chieftaincy appointments and reforms in the state's traditional institutions. It therefore called on all to respect and comply with the court judgment which recognizes Sanusi as the Emir of Kano. According to him, the decision by the appellate court to void previous judgments that question the state's lawful appointments underscores the correctness of our actions and strengthens our resolve to continue reforms for equitable representation and inclusive governance. For the avoidance of doubt, all decisions, pronouncements, and orders made by the Federal High Court, Kano, has been quashed and set aside by the Court of Appeal. Furthermore, the law enacted by the Kano State House of Assembly relating to emirates and all actions taken by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, pursuant to that law, have been fully upheld and legalized by the Court of Appeal. Therefore, in strict adherence to the rule of law and in defense of democracy, all public and private institutions, as well as individuals, are required to comply with the Court of Appeal's decision and act accordingly to give full effect to the judgment. This ruling affirms the government's commitment to justice, fairness, and adherence to due process in our efforts to modernize traditional structures while preserving the cultural heritage of Kano State. The judgment further clarifies the rightful jurisdiction over chieftaincy matters, underscoring the constitutional boundaries of the courts in such affairs. We extend our appreciation to the judiciary for upholding the principles of justice and fairness. The Kano State government remains committed to working with traditional institutions and ensuring harmony and fostering development across all emirates. Judge, what do you make of this development in Emir? But then, at the end of the day, Bayero, whom this judgment did not favor, says that he's going to Supreme Court. Do you see an end to this? I mean, the balkanization of the Emirates and now coming back to this. The government, of course, Governor Yusuf has backed Sanusi from day one. Do you see an end to this tussle?
There's always an end to, every disagreement, every problems. There's always an end to it. The people need to give peace a chance. But this whole thing lies with the court to give justice, to dispense justice. So far the Court of Appeal has ruled, quashing the position earlier held by the lower courts.
Justice Lehman.
Yeah. So right now as it is, the state government have come to inform or tell the people to give Sanusi, all the required support and respect that institution, deserves. So if Bayero has said he's going to Supreme Court, it is his inalienable right to go to Supreme Court. Until Supreme Court rules, Sanusi is the one acting, and he should be given all the respect, all what he requires to effectively, run that Kano Emirate and all of that. So until Supreme Court rules, which is the finality of the matter, that's why I say there's always an end to every problem. Whenever Supreme Court rules, and I believe Supreme Court at the level they operate, understand that the power of life and death is in the hand when it comes to legal matters like this.
They are the final.
They are finality of the matter. So they will look at the matter on the merit of it, and at the end of the day, they will give judgment based on what is before them. And once that judgment is given, it becomes a law. It becomes a reference point that will be used for tomorrow and all of that. So that is why I say there's always an end to every problem. So the finality is at the Supreme Court until they rule. For now, we will abide by the Court of Appeal judgment, which has been stated Sanusi, and the government has come to ask everybody, including private institutions in the state, to please accord Sanusi, because that emirate, is actually very important in their culture. There's a lot of respect attached to that. The reason for that statement, for me, is, the emirate is something that is an institution that is respected by people of Kano and even outsiders, those who are residing in Kano doing business. So what he has come to say is to reaffirm the position of they are looking at the council and not the individuals battling or jostling for the emirship. They are looking at the institution of the emirate. You understand? So we are.
The Kano State government has been accused of supporting.
That is human nature.
And even at the federal level, there have been this Emirship Tussle to a large extent has been politicized. Right, the federal government has been accused of having a hand in the crisis. The state government, on the other hand, has been accused as well. There have been cases of court judgments and even conflicting judgments as well, coming from both the state and the federal. It's similar to what is going on in Rivers State, but this one it's at a different level. But this one now is at the traditional level. So, and there were accusations and counter accusations. Court orders have not been obeyed, by the way. Court orders have not been respected. I mean, all parties have been doing what they want to do. And on the other hand, the state government, to a large extent, has shown strong solidarity to Sanusi. And now that this has happened, Bayero, by the way, who is a cousin to Sanusi, is saying that he's not letting this go. He's going to Supreme Court. And then, on the other hand, Sanusi has come out to make some strong worded statements, even, saying that anybody that would want to, cause problems with regards to this court judgment, made some strong worded statements like, they will receive thunder and thunder will strike and all of that, to that extent. And again, this Emirship Tussle at some point almost got to a point where there was breakdown of law and order in Kano State. In fact, it took the joint effort of both the military and the police to, to a large extent, hold this to order. How do you see this playing out in the coming days in Kano State? And how do you see it affecting the peace and unity of Kano State?
I have always been a firm believer in the judiciary being the arbiter, because I know that conflict is a human nature thing. It will continue, provided even amongst oneself, there is always conflict. There are sometimes you as an individual will be at conflict with yourself, based on one or two decisions you've taken that you felt shouldn't have been like that. Then how much more when there are more than one person? So conflict will continue to, arise as a result of, human nature and things like that. So I've been a firm believer in the judiciary being the arbiter, because we surrendered our power as individuals, our respective powers. We surrendered it to the government. That is the social contract. We surrendered it to the government to rule over our affairs, and judiciary is one arm of government that settles disputes as a result of that. So I firmly believe in them doing what is required. The matter is before the Supreme Court, like it says. Ado Bayero said he'll be going to Supreme Court to appeal the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which is his right. You can't take that away from him. But I will advise him as a leader not to engage in anything that will destroy Kano State. He should not, be making some kind of inflammatory statement. Same thing with Sanusi. They should not make any statement that will make the ordinary people to, inflame the Kano State. As a people, that state is well respected. It has a lot of population, human population in it. Anything that happens to Kano will affect many other states in Nigeria. In fact, it is Nigeria that is just also happening to. So the federal government should ensure that they beef up security around the Emirates, not to ensure any breakdown of law and order as a result of careless utterances that will be made by these leaders or their supporters. So let's wait for the Supreme Court to give judgment. And I'm sure the moment Supreme Court gives judgment, looking at the matter on its merit, both the winner and the loser will understand that the next place to go is to go and see God and appeal. So at that time, everybody will now be calmed.
All right.